Just because.
Because
I asked. I don't know. Anyways, all right. I think we're live now. This is week 7 of the Xbox Battleborn League. We have Red Brick and the Toxics going up against H4H. What's your predictions for this match, C3? Well, this is Mini Cooper 647 casting with C3, by the way.
what's up, family?
What's your predictions for this match?
Predictions turnout wise or pick wise?
Well, we have Hose for Hire on Team 1 and Red Brick and the Toxics on Team 2 for Game 1, and I believe it is on Overgrowth, so Red Brick and the Toxics probably picked Team 2, and Hose for Hire's presumably picked Overgrowth. And I guess I was asking, what, like, overall, like, how close do you think it's going to be, and what do you think the overall scoreline for the game or match will be?
This will be interesting to see. Have Host for Hire already played Todd Squad?
I believe so. I don't know. I don't have my phone in front of me. I'll pull it up in a second, but we can get records up if you'd like. And pull up the schedule. Well, anyways, we have the bands already waiting on Team 1 to make their first pick, and we got a Galt hover right out of the gates. A Rendy ban on Team 1. Not entirely sure how I feel about that. And we got Kelvin Thorn banned from Team 2. So Gal taken on Team 1 for their first pick. Pretty solid pick. Galt's still on the board.
Either they take Galt this route, I don't think they pass it up. Easy pick.
Yeah, Galt Oscar, because Thorn's
Oscar.
already off the board.
Oscar's already a ridiculous character in his own right. Wrath, a strong follow-up for Gal. Nice cancel.
Nice thing about taking the Wrath here is that they have 2 of the best CCs left on the board, but also Wrath is the only AoE hard CC left. Because both Monty and Kelvin are out. Unless he's taking triple hook Galt.
Can you land all 3 hooks on one person? In close proximity?
Yes, but the damage only applies once.
Benedict, interesting. Guess they gotta scoop up some damage as well.
For sure, yeah. And Navy Dropout is not playing in this match, worth noting. So that's why Benedict would have gone off the board so long.
And take a CC here with their next pick. Again, Boulder or Shane.
I think with their team, judging by who's probably playing it, they'll probably go Boulder. But I think Lit's going to be on Galt, and so it'll be on Divine's pick here. Because Bloodshadow is going to be on the shooty. Oscar,
ooh,
in his words, he would say on the shooty. So, and I think either that or actually now that they pick Shane, it'll probably be Bloodshadow on Shane and Undivine on this last pick potentially.
I think it'll be Bloodshadow on Oscar. Undivided on chain. And then they last pick Cleese.
Yeah, actually, I could definitely see that. Host for Hire, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of their games. I know they've been hard fighting every game in this season. They look like they got a really good draft going on here. I think it plays to a lot of their strengths.
That's just really strong draft in general. I think use a medium-sized body. I think Isaac would serve them really well here.
Yeah, they're gonna go with the whiskey just for the more sustained DPS.
Called it.
Whiskey can be really good at taking out Cleese Rifts. He's just got to be really careful about positioning. I like that their comp can
have a much better time, but
if the Gal and Wrath are in sync and they're pushing the like making plays instead of letting Galt dictate the like pace of the game, or they're just avoiding hooks altogether and then making really good counter engages when it's down. I think they have a really good pick comp here. You get the Wrath knock up and the Gal stun in either order. Get an Alani Geyser potentially after that, and you have Benedict Hawkeyeing, Whiskey DPSing. Like it's a really clean combo. But like, as you did mention, like having something a little bit beefier instead of Whiskey. Plus, Isaac's wards are really like underappreciated against a Galt. Whether you take Whoops to Daisy at level 1 or not. He's still a really good counter to Galt because Galt's got a huge hitbox. Shane's got a huge hitbox. Khaleesi's got a huge hitbox. Isaac can be a little bit riskier about his positioning. Plus, you have an extra stun at level 4. His ult shreds sentries, which you need to push the pace of the game here because if Khaleesi gets to 7, it's going to be so much harder because they really only have one person who can even tank that.
Do any neutral game in lane, yeah.
So they're going to have to push the pace of the game, and I think Isaac would have been better than Whiskey, but Whiskey can do it. It's just going to be asking a lot of the Whiskey. But again, I do think this plays to their strengths. Venom on Benedict, that's one of his strongest characters. Teemo on Wrath, he's really solid. He's not going to get picked often. Raw on Gal, I think he likes to push the pace of the game. Like, that's just his general play style. So I think Gal fits him really well. He's good at Oscar, don't get me wrong, but I think he's better on a beefier character that he can really make some space with. Sticks and Stones on Alani, he can like see what's going on and really like command the game really well. And then Enigma's always been a good range DPS player. When I first saw him in pubs, I remember like I thought he was a Thorn 1 trick because he was really good. This is a long time ago, but yeah, he plays range DPS really well. He's got good positioning in general. Not a very tanky loadout. I think those are all like he doesn't have any max health secondaries. He's got 2 epics and a rare. But it's fine on Whiskey. If you have good positioning, don't get hooked at all, then you don't necessarily need the max health. Right off the rip, we see Wrath.
Shane has not taken our first augment.
That's worth noting.
Yeah.
The Wrath will get out just barely. Oscar's diving for it, but he might pay for this. Bloodshatter dies first blood. And meanwhile, the Gal does get traded.
Yeah.
Shane getting the kill confirmed there. Undivine going in for a play on the Alani. He's half health though, no shields. He can go. He's in the middle of a minion wave. He's stuck by Whiskey. Nice stick there, but Miko is on the Shane, and her shields are coming up from the Khaleesi. Getting that DR going. They do have the DPS if Whiskey has his wound up soon. Just a Wrath knockup can burn that Shane when she doesn't have her shield up. Khaleesi level 1's not super strong. Alani gets hooked.
Oh, good pull.
Gets a good geyser off though to heal for herself and heal. Shane's in pretty deep. No shields.
Though, he could die.
Nice stun by Gal. Good pick. This is really good to see Host for Hire getting the early picks in the game. Like, you know, trading occasionally isn't terrible when you're trying to push the pace of the game. But we do need to see them push out and really abuse the early game against Khaleesi and Galt.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it progresses.
Looking for one up top. Might get him. No.
That was ambitious.
Doing a good job of not staying in the lane. I always tell people to stay on the
Yeah,
right side of the
those
rock
hook
there.
lanes, yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little first person on the Galt here, potentially. Whiskey's getting
I'll be
Thrall
checking
currently.
Helix a little bit later on to see some of the picks, but kind of zooming over the top right now.
Just getting double shards right now.
I think they scale really well. I
Honey
think they benefit from playing a little passive here because once they get levels, Gal's gonna get tankier and Rat's gonna get that silence. They're gonna have a much better time.
Now Galt's AFK. I don't know if he DC'd or what.
Batteries.
We're still within 3 minutes. Yeah, maybe it was batteries.
Ooh, Gal may go here anyways. Oh no, Wrath disengaged. Way to
Gal
hold the
gets a
knot.
nice hook on her, but she gets blocked by the Oscar. He's trying to burn the shield, but I think she'll get out just fine.
Yeah.
They still have
Shield
their
throw
Shepherd
goes out.
wave alive, though. Shepherd goes down. Good job by Whiskey and Benedict. They're all coming in. They might get a pick here in
Shane's
garage.
getting chunked. Oh, he
Galt's
messed
not
with the knockup.
responding.
That's rough. Oh, Benedict goes here.
Galt should get this.
Yeah.
Might get the Wrath here too. Oscar's gonna get out just fine, and Wrath overstepped. He needs to get that hook back though. That's a free hook on the Wrath if he steps up when the Wrath's running away. Well, all right. Well, we won't first person the Galt for a little while. Gets a nice hook on Alani though. Maybe I backed out of that just a second too early. Alani doing a pretty good job keeping people up. Jane gets a nice fetch, slows the Whiskey, but no real damage follow up. So, good escape by Whiskey. Got to be careful standing up on this garage though. It is a really easy hook and fetch position. Got to be quick on your feet. It's really easy to dodge too if you see it coming, but it's easy to get caught aiming down sights. See, the Galt's actually getting the Thrall. That's somewhat unexpected. You'd expect either Khalees or Oscar to get it. But I guess they're confident they can make plays with the Shane. But Shane does get geysered. Nice, well-placed geysered. Gal gets the follow-up stun, but they really just didn't have the DPS on that. She might still go, though. They're keeping it up.
Rat's doing a good job holding the
chunked.
knock up till the immediate point they need it. They just have to get a little bit cleaner about the damage phase.
Yeah, that was actually a really well-played engage. Now they have single thrall coming in, and their Whiskey is capping single thrall, so no real wave for it to knock up and no wave with it. So actually done really well to mitigate the play, and potentially as long as no one gets picked in lane here, they can do a lot with this thrall that Whiskey just capped. I'd like to see them push the pace of this though.
Minions.
Shane's skills are both out. I'd be
Shane's
pushing the pace right now.
Skills, yeah.
They need to push out. I don't know where Galt is though. Is he AFK in base? I think he's AFK in base. They really need to push the pace here. Shane can get picked here. Good stun by Gal.
Nice.
She's Hawkeye. I don't think she got hit by that Hawkeye. They need to take out these rifts ASAP.
Keeping her.
Shane can die, but they need to take out the rifts. Gal was hanging
Yeah,
out
the rest
in
of
the
their team
rifts.
is two hit in the back, yeah.
They did get the Shane. I think the Whiskey might have tunneled on the Shane. Benedict got chunked early.
Benedict and Alani got chunked.
Khalees is really taunting in game one of... Okay. I guess he got a double kill there. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe there's some bad blood between them.
Sure.
Maybe it's just because Memphis is a scumbag. Who knows?
Let's see. Khalees only got 1 kill out of that exchange. Miko's actually got 2 kills.
It's actually pretty good for Hose for Hire, though. That's kind of where you want the kills to be going. Gal's making some nice stuns here. I think Wrath could have held that knockup a little bit longer, but they do, again, have 2 people away at Thralls, so they don't even have their DPS here.
Ooh.
I don't think you can let an engage like that happen while you have 2 away at Thrall. Or maybe those 2 don't need to be going for that Thrall at this point in the game. Like, they're not timing it with the Shepherd wave. Like, there's no real reason for them both to be back there. Especially not with Benedict. Nico gets stunned up here, but there's no DPS on him. Gal was the only one hitting it.
The rest of the team's kind of disjointed. Gal looks like she's trying what she can.
Yeah, I mean, Gal's making some great plays here. She's just not getting followed up. But, I mean, partially that's not necessarily completely on the rest of the team. Gal needs to make sure she's communicating. But, like, I mean, the plays are there. So if they can get their communication online, like, they're definitely not out of this. Like, they have a great comp. They scale pretty well into the mid game. Like, if they can keep up with levels here, keep avoiding these Galt hooks like they've been doing, or mitigating them, we just need, you know, a little bit more coordinated effort, and they're gonna be making the plays. Jane comes in pretty deep, gets stunned. Wrath has knock. She can die. Good Hawkeye. See,
yeah, 360.
Yeah, they're all together.
Yeah.
They need to push the pace, though. They need to get their DPSs around the corner and taking out those rifts instant. Yeah, Benedict's dealing with it right now.
Yeah, they're on.
Whiskey's
they're on
there
it this
too.
time. Yeah.
Good stuff. I think they caught on. And they take mid for free. Like, really clean play there. Get a pick. Shane's being over aggressive.
4 to 7.
Oof. Benny gets hooked, but he has lift off. That's really who you want to be taking the hooks on this team, in my opinion, is either Benedict or Gal, if anybody's going to take a hook.
Yeah, I mean,
granted, ideally, you just don't get hooked.
Gets that stun online, that's going to be rough, yeah.
Even Benedict, yeah, if he gets... Yeah. I mean, Miko would have stunned him there, I believe, if he had level 4. Which he does have online now. Unless he takes Trail of Spores. It'll be interesting to see which one he goes with here. Most likely the stun there, just extra CC for Cleese and Oscar to burn people.
Shane on the back line. Mike ult in the middle of them, disjointing
Benny
them.
gets hooked back into the Mike ult. Galston goes out, but there's no real follow for it there, and I'm not sure if it hit or not. Jane pitches in Alani, gets the stealth strike on her.
Alani goes here.
A rift plus some autos and a grenade. I think the grenade might have missed. Shane might get picked here, though.
Gal's trying her hardest. She doesn't have the damage.
Yeah. Galt's behind the Gal, though. If Gal body blocks well here, they can potentially do something with it. Gal's stun should be up soon. Whiskey gets fetched in
Immediate
there,
disengage.
They have a throw
coming
in.
Holding it for him. Yeah.
They still don't have Alani yet back yet. She's coming in right now.
She
just needs to get a geyser on Wrath and Gal on Whiskey, and they can... Yep, good stuff. I think Whiskey's going to try to take down this Shroom, potentially. He's going for some grenades on Cleese, and...
Ooh.
Not completely sure about that.
Miko may kill Whiskey here.
Hawkeye misses on the Miko there. Could have been pretty impactful, but he does have Shroom still up, and some beef in between him and the kills.
Oh, random bad geyser goes out there. Making some sentry
Oscar's
damage
going up
here.
on ledge to
Their minions are all gone.
significant sentry damage. Calls with him. Shane's pushing the lane, but Shane doesn't have a lot of support here. She's wounded. Nice pick.
Ooh. Play.
They got 2 split up there. I mean, it's great to have the Galt and Oscar leave lane, but, you know, if they still have 5 up, that's really disrespectful. Like, they should get picked, but... Then Whiskey pokes up a little bit too much. Gal is just beating the shit out of Cleese while he's taunting.
Trying.
But, I mean, it's Gal, so... And she's in a Rift network at this point. Cleese is level 5.
Actually checking if
Cleese
he
level.
has Gash and Bash.
Cleese level 6. Yeah. No, he's 5.
He
Oscar's
does not.
6, though.
He has Sentinel stance. Wrath has silence now.
Wrath needs to knock up here then to make sure Gal gets out. That's got to be earlier. You got to silence the Shane before she can fetch.
I should hit 5 off this next minion.
I mean, it's something. It's not super impactful. They really need Whiskey level 5 and Gal level 5. But they're just, I mean, the Miko shrooms aren't going down fast enough, and the Whiskey's getting picked in window repeatedly. So it's a rough comp to play into. It's really suppressive. They had some really nice plays in the early game. I think they just didn't get together quick enough. But it's not over. They can definitely still make plays with this comp. They just gotta avoid having like desync spawn timers. Like if they keep getting picked when other people are just about to respawn, it hurts a lot because it's always a 4v5 at that point.
Yeah, it kills one from 4 and 7 to 5 and 14 in the span of a couple minutes.
Yeah. Gal's just being a bit over aggressive there. Like you don't have Benedict, and there's a Khalees network up there with the Miko. You're never gonna kill them in window. You have to push through lane.
And she's probably gonna go here.
Seems like they're getting a little frustrated at this point. Like, why is Whiskey jumping up there in front of 4 people?
Gonna pay for it.
He was trying to take them out of window, like, to stop the sentry from going down. It's like, at some point, somebody should have been saying, like, we need to give up sentry pit. Like, just retreat.
Probably, Oscar's already gonna push for the ult behind him. Nah, he's just getting a little damage in.
I don't think he has it. It should be up soon, though.
Enemy forces!
The deep ones rise.
A challenge.
Shane looks for fetch, misses. So Shane's level 5. Did she take We'll Take Everything, or what did she take at level 4?
Check. She hasn't picked.
She hasn't picked her level 4 yet? Okay.
No.
It's interesting.
Release the
Doesn't
dog!
have a check on it. It says she's picked 5, but not 4. Or
Yeah,
doesn't
you
have a
can do
check
that.
mark for me.
This should do the trick.
Yeah, so she's picked 5, not 4.
Okay, that makes sense. Did she take Fleetfoot at 5 or Immortal Ages?
Mortal Ages.
Yeah, that's smart because she's really like the only tank on her team, and with a Khalees on your team too, like you always have your shield up. Granted, he hasn't been playing around his shield really well this game. Like, I think that's something that could be abused. Is even with the Khalees, he's not playing around his shield well enough.
Interesting is, oh, he's got stun now. Interesting is, I know PS4 they do a strat with Shane Khalees where they takes the shield heal and gives Shane like ridiculous amounts of shield from the back lines.
Oh, I mean, it's fantastic in theory. The problem is that like then bouncing mortars get consumed by your allies. So if you ever hit level 7 as Khalees, like you don't have that same late game threat. It is something though. I mean, Shane becomes literally like immortal as long as Khalees is really on point with hitting those. Especially after bouncing mortars, because Shane can just get full shields like 2 times over. You just run a huge shield with Shane and like attack damage, attack speed with instead of taking the shield recharge speed at level 4 or 3 rather, you take the damage while shield is up, melee damage while shield is up. And you become like a pseudo assassin brawler. Which Shane can definitely be played as. I mean, it keeps your 20% DR up at all times.
Shane,
And you gain
is
bonus
7
damage
now.
with it too.
It's being really hard for them to do anything right now.
Yeah, they need to zone that Khalees out of supply station.
Yeah,
Or
they're
just push
going up
through
there a
lane.
lot, but they're not hitting the they're not hitting the rifts is the problem.
Well, instead of like being split like that so that one person is just getting picked repeatedly, they all need to push through lane. And Gal's doing a really good job of pushing that pace, but now she's overextended because the wave is not down, the thumper is not down, and she's already in supply station. She might get out though. I like what
No,
I like
no
the
way.
mentality, but
collapse
the
there.
execution is just not there. I think he's getting frustrated. Lonnie doing a good job of keeping him up, but there's just too much there. Whiskey Hole comes in a bit too late. I don't know if he had it on cooldown or what.
Liquid snake!
Might have helped the zone. Alani gets picked though.
Gravitic anomaly. Accuracy's overrated.
Wow, that was interesting. Mortars.
Ambitious Cleese mortars.
Yeah.
That was ambitious.
Oh, good Galston on the Gald. He's
Tap
in
him out.
sentry damage. If he had literally anyone else with him. Shane's coming up behind
Yeah,
him
even
though,
they
and
just
Wrath
not,
doesn't have
they're not really,
knockup.
they're just not really communicating.
That's Mortars. Oh, he didn't. And he's silenced now, but Wrath is doing too much now.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to just get that dank knockup and run away. Like, you bought your team time, now go to lane and push through lane. And then collapse on the cleats from behind. Get a pick on the Miko.
Sentry should go here.
Yeah, Sentry will die here for sure.
Enemy forces! Can you take care of this? Put on more
Yeah, you can't let Cleese sit on your supply uncontended like that. You have to get him out of the rifts. You have to push him out. You have to
But
answer him as a
but
team
like
5.
with the Miko behind him, you cannot push through that door. It's nigh impossible.
You can get the
once
rifts
he's level
down, and
7.
with the gal DR.
But even then, it's not.
It's
It's not even the right move though.
Yeah,
you
I'd
just
level 7
push
to
down
make-
lane and then get behind him. Take
Yeah,
out that
no, makes
thumper.
sense.
Have your ranged DPS poke around, because if he's focused on the sentry and he just used a mortar barrage on sentry, if you run up in there, you have a nice window of time to do stuff. And so you get a pick on Miko, you get all the rifts down, or you kill Khalees and get all the rifts down. But like, the Miko doesn't like to be in that supply station, but then you also have to realize Alani doesn't like to fight in a supply station unless she can like kind of be on the edge of it and like be down at the bottom of the stairs and still get hits. But then it's really difficult for her to heal any of her allies if they turn that corner. So like, you have to be very quick and concise on it, and maybe even do a pincer attack on the Khalees. But generally, getting that kill on the Miko is much more impactful. They had some really good picks on Shane though. They just needed to do more with that when she was down.
They played the early game pretty acceptable, I'd say. They just really sprouted out of control during that first century when they lost it.
Yeah. Well, and we even said in the pregame that like with the comps in the way they were, like you have to push the pace of the game. You can't let them play at their pace. Doesn't necessarily mean ending the game early. It's just make sure you're ahead in XP as the game goes on. Get the early picks, abuse the early levels. And, they did pretty well at that, as you said, but just, it seemed like they almost got frustrated towards the end, potentially, or about midway through. And then Khalees coming on level 7 just makes it even worse. Khalees is taunting all the kills, and they're a free agent team, so like, they don't have the same level of unity that a lot of teams have, and it's really easy to get down, especially when a Khalees is taunting you, and it's like, oh yeah, you pressed a button, like good for you. They just gotta like stay together, push the pace. Like, I think that was a great comp for their team. I think they can definitely execute better on it. They just gotta be more in sync.
I don't think it can be understated how not easy Khalees is to play. Yeah, his mortar barrage is a lot of damage just for clicking a single button, but Memphis had a lot of well-placed ults in that game. I got a lot of picks. Like
Fair enough.
Galt will get a pull and he'll put.
I mean, I play a lot of
Khalees,
Khalees, so I know it's not easy. It's just that like like when you're taunting somebody who's clearly like, okay, they got out of position and you one-shot them. Like, it's kind of like killing your people with the Randy Insta-Pillar and like taunting them. It's like, okay, well, it's not that it doesn't take skill to get to that point in the game and like, be able to actually hit it. But it's just like it already feels like shit for it to have happened to you as the player that died to it. I don't know. I guess different people have different
part
mentalities.
of the game, and it's not a big deal to me. I mean, you get taunted, it happens to everybody. It's not a big deal. if you want to take it to heart, that's your prerogative.
Fair enough.
Since you know they stick together really well as a team. In that game, at least, they were really huddled up pretty well around like Cleese Fish, playing really well around the shield portion.
For sure. Yeah, Pendles hover off the rip. Thorn and Wrath banned out. Arendi, Kelvin banned out. Like, I mean, it's actually a really good setting for Pendles already. And you have the Galilea. So we'll see if they pull it out. I'll be interested to see who's playing it.
So you give the 101 things wrong with X person's Pendles. I'd actually like to see it myself.
I mean, they might play it perfectly. You never know. I don't even know who would play it yet. And everybody brings their own flavor to Pendles. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's really interesting to see like different people's positioning and like things like that. But no longer hovering Pendles, so we'll see if that holds true.
Two very strong picks on both teams right now.
One thing to note with
Undefined wants the Mako.
one thing I always point out
Swords
with Gal comps is like it's really powerful on paper, but like you have to realize like Gal is one of the worst characters at peeling in the game. Like she can create space, she's territorial, but if one of her allies gets picked out, like she can't really do a lot to save them other than like stunning one key target, like or body blocking and trying to I don't know, make space or whatnot. But like she's not very great at peel, and neither is Galt. They're both single target CCs, and so if you get collapsed on, it can be pretty dangerous. And Monty has 2 AoE CCs, and now they have a boulder to follow it up. Oscar Mike is great DPS. And Monty's bringing DPS to the tank role, so really good comps on both sides as it shapes up so far. Whiskey Cleese.
Play the strengths, man. If the water faucet ain't broke, don't fix it.
Indeed. So Undefined on Gal this time instead of Shane. Otherwise, more or less the same comp. Whiskey instead of Oscar. I'm kind of thinking Atticus would actually be really good into that comp because there's no real peel. It's all single target CC. He's got the beef to survive some of the burst. But instead they go Caldarius, which is interesting because, I mean, Caldarius can work similarly in that, like, he counters the Miko pretty hard. He can get in and out. He can avoid Galt hooks. He can escape Galt hooks. It's difficult for Gal to stun. But there's a lot of AoE slows.
It's a lot higher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, skill ceiling's higher, but
you have to be crispy on the
yeah, he's gonna have to put out a lot on Caldarius. The static is a pretty good at
it's
Caldarius, but it's gonna be a difficult game dealing with Cleese as the game goes on.
Pretty great character as backline dive. It's just tough when one mistake equals your death versus a lot of people can at least make one mistake and make it out.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
If you just play him clean the whole game and just passive aggressive going when you need to, like he can be even more annoying in Melka because it's the constant blind, and when he's holding ult, that's gonna do you no good to run away.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic. Just sad to see the character be so difficult to play.
Yeah, I agree. All right, game 2. Red Brick and the Toxics versus Hose for Hire.
Everyone move out.
Accuracy on Monty. Oscar took impact. To see Hose for Hire taking mid early on. This is, more or less the same game as last game as far as like team archetypes go. It's
Let's
just
try to
different
run
characters.
it down.
Get so a hook on Caldarius. That's interesting. Ball goes down very quickly.
Good
Well played.
save.
Boulder knocks
Yeah.
Miko away. Creating some space, but
Still doesn't get
Whiskey
out.
just
Undermine
runs it
all the
down.
way in. You still be able to get one out of this. Nope. They're letting this Whiskey just run it down on people. 2 kills he gets by just running in point blank and firing the gun. That's rough.
Scratch one hostile.
Does he have movement speed on his Whiskey, or is that just me? No, I'm just
I
tripping.
hope he does.
He seems faster.
There's no other way to play Whiskey.
Sorry for that.
Well, I mean, no, I meant like in his kit.
Oh.
It just seemed like he was
Oh,
running
let's
really
see.
fast there. I don't know. But he's not.
He does not have
doesn't
a move
anything
speed here. He
activated.
has crit attack speed and attack damage to attack speed. Pretty greedy.
What's the third piece?
Crit, attack speed, attack damage, attack speed.
Oh, okay. That is very
Sorry, I said
greedy as
attack
Whiskey.
speed twice. That's
Yeah, you
pretty.
can get picked
It's pretty
really
greedy. Some gross ults though.
Yeah,
I mean, it sees that he doesn't get picked easy if he's able to run in and kill 2 people.
yeah.
Point blank. Just hold the gun in their face. It's rough.
You gotta stick on Boulder. He might kill him too. See
Ooh,
see how
Bolt
far he
tank's
runs
low
down.
here.
No, Gall got him. Oh no, Gall got Monty. Boulder got out.
Yeah, Boulder's out, but he's still not very healthy. Run for shards. Cal's gonna push in here like she should.
On your guard, here they come.
Let's see if Bloodshot can land a hook here.
Enemy forces.
I mean, they don't really have a high burst damage comp. I mean, they're kind of only high burst as gold.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
that's
be
true.
bad for them to push out as a 5 here, even before this draw. Oof.
Monty misses stun, gets stunned by Gal. Might not even need
Look
the
at-
Gall
look-
because
look at
the
this Whiskey.
Whiskey is
Look
just
at the Whiskey.
running
Look.
it down.
Yeah, just running it down. Yeah, you can't. You gotta have more communication for one character to just be, especially Whiskey, to run it down on your teammates like that.
I'm gonna have first person the Whiskey for a little bit. Galt hooks in the thrall to the window to reset it. Look at where Whiskey is though. Like, doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, that Monty's under stress right now. That's double bubble kind of late though.
Yeah, with the last hit, just for the right triggers on the hooked boulder.
So you gotta push up, bud. You gotta push him out of your choke. Yeah. Does he have shockwave?
I think he does. Yeah, because I haven't seen him knock up. I'm pretty sure he has shockwave. Yeah, because he missed one earlier. Yeah, definitely shockwave. Boulder misses dash, like threads the needle between them. You couldn't do that again if you tried.
Monty's getting chunked out before he can even make any impact on the game when he's back now.
Yeah.
The only range they have is Whiskey? Yeah, that's rough.
Well, Khalees right trigger does a surprising amount because it's perfectly accurate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's important to know here is that people are getting picked here, and their other teammates are full health. Like they're doing nothing to answer them, just running into their choke.
Yeah.
Like they're not B-mealing people off of them. They're not trying to get in there. Even if you don't have CC, just putting your body in front of someone is gonna help when you know you get to at least take 1 or 2 shots for them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point to bring up. Especially with Boulder Monty, you're both so beefy. You just have to trade aggro because you have an Alani. Like, you just continuously trade aggro, get in there, like, help each other out. Gal stun's out, Hook is out. They should be making a play here. Monty gets a stun on Gal. Boulder knocks her away.
That second stun should have been on Miko easily. Yeah, it should have been on if anybody.
Or he could just position it better on Gal to push her even more into the base and still stun her. And maybe they can make more of that. But knocking him away is never what you want to see. It's easy to do on accident, but
it's super easy to do.
But you just got to make sure you take that extra second to position because it's all the difference in the play. See Galt up here poking, just taking down this
look at
Stinger turret.
See both stuns go right there. Like they didn't have any coordination there. She still goes, but you see both stuns go at the exact same time. Like right now, they could be making another play on somebody with another stun.
They should be pushing out though. Their Shepherd is still alive. Monty's going back to base. Oof. You don't want to see that. Boulder just knocked
Yeah, Boulder's
Miko
not
away.
playing. Yeah, Boulder is not playing. He's like, come on, boys.
Yeah, Monty came back. He canceled his
Whiskey's running it down. Good. Can they actually get Whiskey one time? Does Whiskey get to run it down again on someone?
I hope he's chasing the Monty now. He did get geysered, but he got him. Got him.
Raw is begging for some help. He's scrambling people and they're just ignoring him.
Cowdy's in now, but he gets stunned by Gal. Body blocked by Whiskey, hooked by Galt. And Whiskey picks up another kill. How many kills is Whiskey at this point?
Whiskey is 8-0. 9 minutes in the game.
Khalees just picked up a snipe with mortars on Alani. think she was like half health.
He also most damage in the game right now, 48,000. Cleese is 38, second most. No. Oscar's second most, 43.
Yeah, Whiskey's doing whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah.
No science! Battlefield compromise!
But I'm being honest, I actually do love Blood Shadows comp, the Red Brick and the Toxics. Like, that kind of comp is so fun to play. Like a siege comp with like a real beefy front line that's like backed up by like a support and a like semi-support. You know, really strong like DPS assassin if he's played correctly, Whiskey. Which is more or less how Undivided's playing him, like truly just as an assassin. He's listed as one, and he's showing why. He doesn't have as much, you know, DPS overall as Oscar Mike and AoE, but he's great at that single target DPS, and he's showing like if he's uncontested, you can do a lot with it. And when they're worrying about Galt and Gal the whole game, Whiskey just can go uncontested. Galt gets a nice hook on that minion. It goes down. See if he hooks to the Cloudy here. Oh, doesn't have cooldown yet, actually. There it is. Boulder hooked in. Miko runs up for the stun. Good stun by Miko there.
Yeah. Yeah, both the tanks on the other team still level 3. Just unable to get anything going.
Tango down.
Ow! Why did we do that? We must protect ourselves.
Reloading is for dead people. Graffiti anomaly generated.
Monty with
nice
a nice
stun
double
on
stun on
Miko.
Miko and Galt.
Miko with the
Miko can go.
She could go. Nope, she's
she's
biosynth in
healthy.
her. Yeah.
Cloudy really wants
Oh,
it,
no.
but Cloudy had to be way earlier on that dash into the Miko and
Wait, yeah.
like delete
Yeah, about a million
them.
years earlier. Yeah, they got
Whiskey
a stun.
just
They got
ults the
double
Alani
stuns
and
that.
wrecks her. Long range ult too. But I imagine he's got all his gear up. It doesn't have his crit piece yet.
Suck it, second law of thermodynamics.
Defense shields are down, taking a little bit of damage to it. Whiskey does have a napalm.
I believe Cleese is in the cheese spot. I'm not 100% sure if he's shooting a sentry or battle worn at this point. I think he's hitting sentry with his right triggers.
They should
No, it's hiding. It's hiding behind it right now. They can't really get vision. It's about to come back out right now though. See if they keep the shields down. I think is there a rift on it or something? It seems like it's not coming up. Not sure.
No, it's going up slowly.
Okay, yeah, it just
On these
started.
quarter shots, you
There's
can't help
something that
anybody.
stopped its shield recharge fully. Whiskey gets another kill on the Cloudy.
Peel just too little, too late.
Yeah, there's not really in sync here. Like, I think the comp is solid. They could easily outplay
Comp
it,
is
but
for solid for sure. Yeah. I said at this point when you're out level like this, it's kind of hard to critique anything you do just because the level difference makes it so hard to do anything.
Exactly, and that's a great point to bring up.
Yeah.
Like they don't even have ults on Monty Boulder or like on
Yeah.
anyone. They're all level 4. So like I mean, and when
Yeah,
everybody
the
else
damage
on the
scaling
enemy team is 5 and
differences,
6, it's huge. It's so difficult at this point. Once they get Oscar ult online and Monty ult online, they can probably make a push out here. Cloudy ult is going to be really impactful here too, I believe. It's actually a really good way to initiate on a Cleese because if his rifts are grouped pretty close, you can just destroy the rifts instantly with your ult on top of him.
Do you still take the initial damage from him? Oh, nice play on Miko, but she's getting healed. Bubbled maybe?
What,
Miko
from
goes?
the rifts when you
Good
dive?
play. Yeah. Yeah.
No, well it
Get
depends
Monty
on the
for it, but they took
timing.
Miko out there.
It depends on the timing because they have a tick rate. They don't just like tick instantly when you pass into them. They tick periodically
Thought gonna
regardless
push
of
in.
what's
Galt is one shot. You gotta push. Yep. Ooh.
I believe you got mortared there in the back.
You gotta keep hitting it.
And just to see, look, this is the problem. They have people a quarter shot, and look at this Oscar, full health, running away. He's running the opposite direction, and they literally just killed Miko. Just stuff, little stuff like that, it just goes a long way.
You're all about to die.
Pretty good Oscar ult here though. They need to push up with this though. Boulder needs to get in there. You're 3/4 health, Boulder. Push up.
Generated.
Yeah, Miko's still at their base, like.
And
they should
Monty's full
100%
health, full
push
shield. They need
whoever's
to
in the
run.
lane.
They need to go.
Yeah.
Gowdy should already
Yeah.
be in there. Why is he that far away? Give melees.
Yeah. There you go. They can get another one. They gotta go. I don't know why
They
they're
can keep
backing
pushing.
up.
Whiskey's just hanging out in lane. Just push. Dash on that whiskey.
Guys, Boulder is magic.
Come on, boys. Show them some fight.
Heed his wrath.
Turn away from me.
Ooh, bold stuns go out, miss. That's rough, boys.
everybody?
Monty ults absolutely nothing there and is looking around in circles. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. That's a rough exchange to watch.
That is level 7 Cleese. Monty misses the stun on Gal. That could have been really big.
Mother Nature.
Gowdy goes into the Oscar. Oh wait, this is friendly Oscar ult. Like, I mean, that could have been a pick there. Need to be a little bit more aggressive with what they have.
Ooh, Oscar wins the 1v1. Trading gunshots with Whiskey. Whiskey gets his first death. Yes, 13-1.
That's
Only person who hasn't died
really
in
good
this
for
entire
them.
match is Cleese, 3-0. You're still
They need
push.
to
You're
make
on the wrong
something of
target,
it, though.
Raw. You're on the wrong target, Raw. There you go. There you go. That's the one you
Oh,
want.
Lonnie dies to the Cleese mortars. They need to follow this. They need to follow. Boulder's getting good damage on it, but now he's got a rip and
Not too
Miko on
late,
him.
yeah. He should have stunned before he was able to get those mortars off.
Gall can get picked here though. Boulder's not on him, but he gets an axe on him.
Come on, don't go easy on me.
And Cowdy's got to be a little bit more aggressive at this point in the game. Like you need the pick. He's getting taken out by Gal solo though. I think Gal Gashing Bash killed him in the DOT. Like, cause he had actually Grivitic bursted away, and Gal got the kill. Or maybe the Elite Bot. The Elite Bot probably finished him actually, and Gal got the kill.
Oscar now leading damage at 120k.
Well, I mean, it's worth noting. Like
pushing here, though.
Whiskey played perfectly though. Like he is mostly single target, so like he's not going to be out damaging Oscar. So it's good to see the Oscar out
Tough to say.
damaging him. But
If they're spamming you with elite bots and thralls, Napalm's gonna inflate your DPS wildly.
fair enough, yeah.
And he has added up considerably longer than Oscar Mike has it up Napalm. He's just been focusing a little bit more on the kills.
Yeah.
To my aid.
And Monty's
Monty having
ulting
the ult
completely
defensively.
out of damage. I mean, he wasn't taking any damage though. And you need to see that ult aggressively, like you.
They're all
as a
real
CC.
weak.
He lands a great double stun there,
Please
and
get
then
the
you
knife
run
working.
in,
Yeah.
knock up the Miko and all three of them. Oscar ults on top of them, like that could have been super clean. They just need better, timing and communication here.
Like I said, they're actually closing in this level gap, but they're still coming back from that. But yeah, they could definitely be making some cleaner plays. Monty's now 6. He's caught back up. For the most part, they have
Good stun
only
by
Miko's
Monty here,
fixing
but
the
there's a
other two.
Miko behind him, so there's not enough follow, and he doesn't have
Got
ult
one
yet.
heal.
And now doubles are coming in.
Did Overshield saved his life? Nope, not quite.
Clee said, I think double jumped and killed him somewhere.
Why did we do
Double
that?
jumped and mortared, or just right triggered over the wall. Whiskey just shotgunning the boulder with his ult.
They have two thralls pushing in. Sentry may go here. Some minions don't die immediately.
A good blind there, and Oscar ult. This should buy them some time.
Yep, that was a good one.
Still another single
Okay.
draw land a Shepherd wave here, though, so might be the end of it. Monty gets pretty decent ult, but Dash is the Shepherd, I believe. I mean, that might actually been the play. Like, he'll get picked by Whiskey.
Oh. They're David in lane. That's the right thing to do. Don't worry about him on your sentry. Collapse him. Push all the way around. Oh no, they're going.
Yeah, you gotta push around.
Backside. Yeah, they should have pushed around. They made a good play though. They made a good play. They picked the key targets they needed to. But they run. Don't stop there in that choke. The mortars are gonna hit you hard. Oh, their whole team's not coming. It's tough to watch, man. They're always on the cusp of being able to push out, and then they don't as a team.
Watch this.
Oh.
It's actually a really good Khalees ult to get them off of his Miko. And
Yeah.
multiple targets. Alana gets caught out in front by the Gal. Monty's ulting. Galtz is ulting Monty.
Target locked.
They're getting burned down. Pretty decent Oscar ult behind them, just to split them up potentially. Miko can go if Boulder gets it. Boulder does get caught. They finally collapsed on him. Monty's just dashing back into his base, trying to get there as quick as possible. I would rather see that dash saved for getting back out quicker if you're going to use it at all. But really just be patient with it, even if you need to just use it on the minion wave here, keeping it up. But at this point, there's no leap out on their sentry. There's a minion in laser form. They should be the end of it, as long as Whiskey's actually ulting the sentry, which she is.
This game.
Yeah, Miko's throwing some kunai in. They get a pick on Gal. That's nice confidence booster there.
They had a lot of opportunities to push back out. They just didn't play their picks clean.
Yeah, and really what they did after picks too.
Yeah, they didn't pay their picks clean. Exactly what I'm saying. Like they get a pick and they didn't play it clean after that. They were held back by a 4v5 or a 3v5.
Undying going 15, 2, and 12. 148k. Switch to spectating C3.
Let's look at the stats.
Oh, I feel you. Well, we'll go over the stats for all 3 games afterwards as well. I don't know if we're actually recording them this season, but it's good to have them recorded. We seen Monty banned out this time. We're on Overgrowth again. See Monty and Gal banned this time, as well as Kelvin Wrath. So it's all of the AoE hard CC in the game. Aside from Geyser, I suppose.
I predict one team
Deondio.
loses this draft severely. I predict we'll favor one of these teams over the other severely. Not saying who's gonna win.
I can agree with that. Yeah, no, I mean, with these being the bans, the draft might be lopsided. There's a good chance of it, yeah. Like, I definitely understand what you mean. Yeah, apologies
I
for
know.
the noises and also the silence. My dogs were playing and being really loud, so I muted my mic. I'm back now.
I'm liking this Alani Oscar Shane a little bit more.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful. And having the Arendi for the burst as well. Like, the main thing is just keeping Thorn
Ooh.
down. Melka's actually really good into Pendles. I think it's one of the most underrated like counter picks, but the Melka has to be super clean.
Like the slow?
No, well, her DOT like keeps him.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the DOT
constantly
tracks you.
poked.
Yeah.
Well, it tracks you,
Yeah,
but
I can
also
track you. I can see exactly
it keeps
where
your
you're at.
shield down longer. So like
Mhm.
you're out of combat that much longer. Because you need that extra 300. Like, so, you know, the initial engage, you don't take as much poke and you can, you know, rotate more often. But also just in a straight up 1v1, like if a Melka can outplay Pendles really hard. Just because of her like actual overall DPS when she's in close range with him, but also like the slow, the wound, and he has a massive crit spot. Granted, on the other hand, Pendles can outplay the Melka really well too. You can make her little quick melee backwards thing not make a difference whatsoever if you're injecting at the right times and getting those autos in. Because Pendle's melee range is actually surprisingly long. A lot of people underestimate how long his melee range is. Because the longest otherwise is like chains, right, triggers, or Galley as quick melee. I like the two other longest range melees. But Pendles is the longest in the game for his basics. Like, so you can actually outrange Melka like the majority of the fight. If she tries to come in and melee you and like, you know, create space, you inject and you can melt her. If you're critting the Melka with Pendles, you melt her HP. So it's a really high skill matchup. It'll be interesting to watch. And it's Bloodshot on the Pendles, so it'll be fun. He is playing into an Arendi, which I always say is honestly the easiest reveal to play into. It's just all about sight lines and understanding Arendi's cooldowns. So we'll see how well he plays against that. Because, I mean, even if you play it perfectly, it's still Arendi. You could still get bursted while you're in Viz. So that's also a really high skill matchup. So it'll be fun to watch the Pendles. But also how well his team does as a 4-man unit. You know, because oftentimes you will be in a 4v5 situation. But the pressure that Pendles makes, and it's actually it'll be really fun comps to watch. I was surprised by the Melka, but it actually does add a lot to the comp. It adds a lot of pressure on Miko as well. They're getting chunked early on. Miko's only level 1, so if they get any damage on Miko, it's gonna, you know, last pretty well. Biosynth just went out, so a few seconds of poke they can get on him with their comp. Nice guys are on the Miko. He might actually go if they follow. Melka needs to be out there though. Nice, good dive by Shane and Melka. Nice coordinated effort. I like to see that early. Melka just needs to get out now. Cowdy is going to chase, but Pendles is chunked. Melka does go to the Cowdy. They needed to collapse on that Caldarius. He overextended for that Melka.
Yeah, I mean,
Geyser goes out to heal.
even watching all these games, they just don't have a lot of scramble coordination. They have a lot of good initial plays, but their follow has been the weakest part, I think, of their team. Which, I mean, as a free agent team, that's not anything to be surprised about.
Yeah, for sure. Shane might actually get out because of the nice over shield, but Pendles makes the nice finish. See, that's where Melka's really good against Pendles too, though, is the body blocks. Like, she's actually so mobile if you're in the right place at the right time. And she does good single target DPS. And he ate a pillar and a minion wave. Plus Pendles is super squishy. So, yeah, it's nice to get that juicy kill, but if you don't have smoke bomb early, you're dead. And it's all about the directionality of the kill. Like, there's no way he was gonna not get that kill as long as he did it well, but he just fucking injected for it. And that's
would you have autoed and then injected?
I'd probably just auto him and then inject away.
No, auto until she died. Yeah, because she's only maybe 100 health.
Yeah, just kill her with autos and then inject away. If you even need it, just run away and then inject as needed. When you inject in, like, that's burned early game. That's super long cooldown, like surprisingly so. So you rely a lot on your autos in the early game, and you want to use your injection for mobility, which he's been doing pretty well. Boulder gets a nice
catch on Melka there.
Yeah, that was nice. But Oscar does a nice job of just like zoning with damage, and they do have a single throw coming. Boulder's pretty
go in front of it.
Pendles gets knocked up. I don't believe Pendles has smoke bomb right now. No, and he's not doing a good job of sight lines right now. He's throwing stars. I mean, if you crit a single throw with throwing stars, it actually does a surprising amount of damage because he is an attacker class, and they already do pretty good base damage. So it's actually not terrible if you're trying to. If you're at this level, yeah. But you usually run attack damage on Pendles, which... let's just spectate blood for a little bit. Sorry guys, I love Pendles, so... I want to see some more of this. Alright, we found him finally.
He's gonna soak it up, yeah.
Alright, he just hit level 3. I'm interested to see what he takes here. He takes the middle one. Alright. He's going for optimized DPS here.
Deep in.
Pendles injects away. Nice escape there. I like the one.
They're letting this Miko there. Letting this Miko get really ballsy with their positioning when they're diving people.
He's running a really solid Pendles loadout. The only difference I do is I have a health regen, shields down. Which, I mean, having a health regen item that's only 420 is really impactful too. Get it earlier, and he's stealing the enemy single throw. Oscar does see it though. Oscar, let's see how this play goes. Pendles gets the kill XP on it, and Oscar cannot win this 1v1. If somebody else doesn't come, Oscar will just die here.
And like he's doing so hot.
Nice grenade there.
Ripski.
It was a good grenade. I mean,
he tries to back to base.
He played that really well, but he doesn't have smoke bomb. Smoke bomb is on 14 seconds and failed that injection. But he's not really being punished for it. They need to collapse on this. Melka's here now. This should be a kill. Arendi, turn around. Kill this person. Miko's on him now.
Miko's got him.
And he smoked
out.
Nice escape there.
Boys. The greatest
nice escape, but I mean, he should have been punished there. If Arendi just turns around, like, that's free. Couple autos, that's all he needed. He's going for this Melka. Yep, nothing but autos.
Oscar gonna get caught out if he doesn't decide to go somewhere soon.
Boulder dashes the Arendi, but doesn't actually get the stun on it, so Arendi should be able to get out. Nope, she gets picked.
Nope.
I think Miko got
they I think what the Toxics do really well is they stay huddled together really well. Like they take
Yeah.
advantage of just being in proximity to each other. So even if
For
you miss
sure.
a stun, we're still all DPSing you.
For sure. That's a really good point to bring up.
They
have the
spread
whole
out really
base built
far,
up.
and then they come in really close when they need to. And they just kind
Clean
of
up on
5-man
Oscar.
roll it. Kills are 2 to 13.
Chin up, fellow. You've been assassinated by the best.
Phil's doing a really good job there of not taking any initial damage while the shield goes down. Injects away. And he's out. Alright,
Nico in the bad spot could
We'll
go.
stop watching Pendles now.
Nico gets the bio off though. They're getting out. Gotta back up, Milka.
Don't wait.
Yeah, I've gotten damage on second Tingery only less than 9 minutes in.
Here, mates.
Lonnie probably gonna go here. Oscar
Hey, Smeagol
next.
gets picked by the
No.
Shane though.
They get Miko.
Oscar gets out. Pendles goes
You get
down.
Pendles as well. Maybe the push they need to go out. Boulder's next.
This can be the
They can run
turn.
him down.
Ooh.
Ooh, just out of range of that.
Movement speed
been a
though,
good
he's
one.
got, and he
Slow.
got the heavy slow on him.
Peace. Amy needs you. They need you. And that's where they should really be running it down on them right now. Like, they have no Miko.
Can't see a damn thing.
Miko is coming back though with an elite bot. She'll be here soon. Or not yet. 5. They're slowly gaining a little bit of space here. Oscar Mike's still level 3.
Randy makes it out.
Yeah, they finally answered that. Calari's just walking in.
Engaging jump pack.
Ooh, into a stun. That was a good chunk. Double.
It's over.
Hope you lot brought your lead line umbrellas. Axe magic!
This is going to hurt.
I'm just watching random interactions at this point because there's so much going on. Like,
Yeah, everywhere.
just everywhere there's something going on. There's so many low health bars on Team 1.
I think they killed Miko.
They killed Miko. Caldi just barely scoots out. Sentry shields are coming back up though. Boulder misses
Lonnie
his
getting a
dash
little
and
help
just runs
back.
out the other side. Pendles is
Go push
Looking
out
at this,
here.
Alani.
Got this thorn. Whoo! Ooh, thorn. Oh, just short of the double.
Yeah, Cowdy was
Oh,
just
nope.
hanging out at the PlayStation. Milka gets Pendles though.
Yeah,
Boulder
no,
stuns
Enigma
Oscar, but
salvages
he
play.
got an overshield from the Shepherd.
Tingles.
Shepherd OP. That's pretty cool. There's a blight cast underneath Melka, like as she spiked. So it looked like she like summoned a blight. It's like, wait, what?
Oscar and Milka. I mean, Oscar and Alani, the only characters not level 5 right now.
And was level 6, but he's still dead right now. Entry's down and he's highest level.
I hunger for you.
Randy ult does no damage. It's unfortunate when that happens. It's really easy for it to happen. You just swing your camera a little bit too much, but
What's the arrange? Oh, if you sing it too much, yeah. Elko fighting around a hell station, not actually taking the hell station down, which should be the first order of business. You get Caldarius though.
Getting some air.
Pain is the least of your concerns.
Collapse on.
Miko's getting
Pulling the play
collapsed on.
down. They
Miko's
get
getting
Miko.
abused.
Nice. Nice. They're finding something there with that picks on Miko. Elko, don't go for it. Oh,
You got stuck between the thumper and the boulder. And the Cowdy.
he should have beat Melee back up on ledge.
Yeah.
Jane may not get out here either. Oh, she was fleet footed again.
Boulder's coming for it.
Yeah.
Nice ult.
Nate's all day.
I don't know, this is probably making some viewers like fucking like they probably hate this shit, but I'm just like fucking flying around like
Crap, another
following
blink,
different action like I don't know.
From Boulder.
I don't really like really far up overhead views sometimes.
Someone kill him.
Not as fun to watch. Like we all know the game really well. Like you could watch the map and see what's going on. Like
Don't
Oh,
doubt
there's
trying to
kills
do it.
happening everywhere, so it's kind of hard to track what's going on anyways.
Kill count is 8 to 23 right now.
Or
Oh, that was a
just
good ult.
3/4 of Alani's health. Alani have max health? He does not have any max health online.
Max health overrated. Oh, she has the after surviving. That's rough.
No, I mean not online.
Yeah, not online,
She
but
doesn't have a
even
bot.
then she just has a green piece that's after surviving.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wait, that what is that one on the right? Is that move speed secondary?
No, that's max health. That's the
Okay,
brown
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about the green one.
Oh yeah, the green one's after surviving. I know, but
That's rough.
it's actually the same build.
Not a huge
That's because I don't have attack speed max health.
defend me, ancient.
Not a huge man. I was surviving pieces. Actually doing a little bit of pushback here.
As a
Doing little bit of
healer,
work
it's
here.
pretty impactful, and it doesn't. You don't even need the
I
extra
mean-
health necessarily as Lonnie. Like she has pretty good health scan.
If your philosophy is to be,
I love this
I
part.
don't know. I think there's more things you can run that are more impactful, but I don't play a whole lot of healers. Actually doing some work
Like
here. getting
really,
some
you only
picks.
what? Basically, you only need that 210 to avoid getting absolutely one shot by most combos.
Right. But I mean,
Like,
after
unavoidable
surviving, like,
damage.
chances you die. Like as a healer, he's died 6 times this game. Like even if he had that piece up since the very beginning, he's gotten almost no benefit from it because there's not a stint in time where he has survived for 3 minutes. Maybe at
I
the
feel
very
you.
beginning, but
No, I
It's just the
understand. I
up tap on
understand.
it's
Well,
so
if I had the actual max health with negative max shield, by all means, I would run that instead. That attack speed item. But I'm saying I'm just assuming he probably doesn't have that.
Ooh, that was a good snipe.
You got something stuck on you.
Oh, you lot brought your lead line umbrellas.
Part of the cycle.
Oh, they're losing their momentum a little bit here. Getting counterpicked.
That's a metaphor.
Why is everyone
Pendle's, did he take
Shane
TOT on level 4?
saves. Shane saves Pendle's life. I'm Shane's Oscar's life there. By the grace of that stun, he survived.
We're gonna watch Pendle's view again. Because it's easier for me as well.
That was a free sample. Here, take my business card.
We're all pushing their second century.
Shane's coming in.
Looking for Meek.
I really
Meek is
like
already half.
first person people when you're in spectator mode because you could like see like invis characters like coming in.
Hey, look, a copy of a copy of a copy.
Like you know exactly where they are. And you can see people through walls at all times. Like it's so impactful.
Heat is wrecked.
Whew. Ooh. Ooh. Rough exchange for...
This should be sentry here.
Yeah, that was a rough exchange for them right there.
20 seconds on Oscar and Arendi. This should begin.
Fair warning, this
Now 25 on Alani.
skin off your bones.
Look how well Plendles plays this. Falcon just chunked them, so. He'll back out, top out at supply, and just return. Yep. Oh, like he doesn't have smoke bomb yet, so don't wanna risk that.
I love this part.
10,
He's revealed,
11
but it
health.
doesn't matter at all.
He's gonna think he's mom. It's part of the cycle.
Target's marked.
And that's all she wrote.
We gained a lot of viewers just for the third game. It
Really?
went from 7 to 17.
How? This is...
We'll look at the stats from the first two and go over them a little bit, but it was honestly like kind of, well, the third game was a little bit different, but the first two games were more or less the same, like character composition, archetypes, and the games went more or less the same. Like they did really good at like making
They had
individual
pockets.
plays and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, they had pockets of where they shined.
but
Just
they just
remember to-
need to be, if they're just a little bit more together, like.
Yeah, they gotta polish up
they-
the team plays a little bit, I think.
But honestly, that's just playing together more.
Yeah.
Like, just learning how each other play and learning each other's player pools a little bit better and, like, really synergizing with each other. Knowing how, they like to build. And so, you can incorporate more shard gens or, just even just talking about your builds more. And just how you're getting a feel for how each other play. That's a really impactful thing in a competitive setting. Because the skills there, like they're making plays, but they have to be together.
Yeah, very few people in the league just straight up lack the skill. It's all about putting people on the right characters and make sure you're making the plays that your team needs to make.
For sure.
All right, Coop, wrap it up.
I'm going through the stats right now. And, 18-minute game in the first one. 22 minutes on the second one. Howdy, out damage Pendles. That's worth noting. I don't think that should happen. But well played to everyone though. Thanks for joining us, and I guess we'll sign off.